When the government of India took a stand against triple talaq in Supreme Court on Friday, it made a major headline. Not just triple talaq, also against polygamy and nikah halal. Today on Agenda, we have someone who was involved in the drafting of that significant government stand. We'll be speaking to her about how this all came about. Also, the Muslim Personal Law Board, which opposes this reform, is going to have a major public statement on this tomorrow. They're also joining us now. But first, Madhvi Diwan is an advocate of the Supreme Court who worked with the Law Ministry on this very closely. Thank you very much for joining us today to just give us an idea about how this stand that the government of India took, how this came about. And before we speak to you, I just wanted to point out some of the provisions, some of the statements that the government affidavit sets out. The government affidavit says that practice of triple talaq, polygamy, nikah halal cannot be regarded as essential part of religion. That's one major statement. It also says secularism, hallmark of Indian democracy. No citizen can be denied fundamental rights. These are major statements, Madhvi Diwan. Thank you for speaking to NDTV. I just wanted to ask you, how long did it take all of you to come up with this affidavit?
Well, the affidavit took only about 2 or 3 days from my end, but I'd first like to say that since the matter is yet to be argued in court, I'm going to really confine myself to what is stated in the affidavit, because it's yet to be argued in court. You see, there is the moot question really before the court is whether in a secular country with a secular constitution, the state has no religion, whether a woman who is an equal citizen of the country can be treated differently or put in a vulnerable position merely by virtue of the religion she happens to profess. In other words, whether religion can be a pretext for denying an equal citizen of this country her full enjoyment of fundamental rights, which the Constitution guarantees to every citizen, regardless of her religious or other affiliations.
What's also interesting...
So that is the sum and substance of it. And really, the government's affidavit is about equality and gender equity. You know, these are the two overarching principles. And you know, when we talk about women, it's about 1/2 of our population, and this is something women you know, transcend all religions, all caste affiliations. So whether you're a marginalized section of society or you're, you know, a higher caste, whatever it is, whichever religion, I mean, women transcend. You know, women belong to all of these different affiliations, and therefore this is the really overarching non-negotiable value which I think our constitution underlines.
Madhvi Diwan, I wanted to ask you, one of the statements that the affidavit makes very clear is that you say that triple talaq is not an integral part of the religion, or neither is polygamy. How did the government come to this conclusion?
Well, you see, no state, and certainly not a secular state, is not an expert on religion, and no state should be concerning itself with religious affairs, the nitty-gritty of religious affairs. But this is a test which has been laid down by the Supreme Court, that in order to be protected, a religious practice has to be an essential and integral part of religion. There are two things here. One is that the practices in other countries has been studied, and states where there is a predominantly large Muslim population, where the state religion is Islam, all of these countries appear to have undergone a great deal of reform, perhaps not very satisfactory in some countries, but certainly some reform. And the irony over here is that you know, in a secular country, can a woman be in a significantly more vulnerable position than her counterparts in other countries which are not secular countries? That's one aspect, and that's one indicator of whether this can be regarded as an integral practice of religion. The second important thing is if one were to just, going by the Muslim Personal Law Board stand, what they say is that this is a prevalent practice, this is an effective practice, but it's not something compulsory, and it's in fact they describe it as undesirable. They've been very frank and candid in that it's not a desirable practice. Now, something which is not desirable may not be elevated to an essential practice. So that is really the substance of the stand. And even when we talk of the right to religion under our constitution, there are exceptions. There is health and morality are the two grounds which that right can be qualified or restricted.
Right.
Now, when we talk of morality, there is again something, a principle which underlies the constitution, and that is contemporary constitutional morality. So all these practices have to be studied in the light of that. And I think there will be debate before the court. I mean, that we have a long way to go. I think this is the starting point really. So let's see how it all goes.
It's great to get this insight, Madhavi Diwan. I just wanted to stay with us. I know that you don't want to participate in any kind of debate. We understand that because you're part, the person who's drafted this, and as you said, it is going to be debated in court. But we just want to get some reactions in. So I just want to get the our other guests in over here. We have Maria Salim, who is part of the Muslim Mahila Andolan. They are also party and part of this entire debate going on. They've put in their application in court as well. We also have Tarannum Siddiqui, who is part of the All India Women Personal Law Board, and of course the All India Muslim Personal Law Board's Zafaryab Jilani. He joins us from Lucknow as well, and as usual the agenda audience. Mr. Jilani, I know you've heard what the government stand is. You've heard Ms. Diwan explaining the kind of thinking that went into it. When the government says that triple talaq or polygamy is not an integral part of the religion, how do you respond to that?
You see, we have submitted before the Honorable Supreme Court that triple divorce, though it is not desirable as said by Ms. Diwan also, and it is rather condemnable if it is not justified. And second Caliph had even punished those persons who had pronounced it without any lawful justification. But the effect is that the divorce does happen and it stands pronounced, then the relationship comes to an end. So what we have to distinguish and we have to explain as before the Honorable Supreme Court is that its continuance is a must, because the law is there. If it is scrapped or it is abrogated, then this will not be in accordance with Shariat. Therefore, although we also have been trying to persuade the people that not to pronounce 3 divorces in one sitting unless it is very much required in the circumstances of a particular case. But it cannot be abolished. This is our stand before the Honorable Supreme Court. So also permissive regarding polygamy, she has rightly said it is permissible, not essential. But something which is permissible under Quran or under the Shariat law, if it is disbanded, then definitely it becomes an interference in that personal law. Therefore, whatever has been said by the Government of India has to be tested on this logic before the Honorable Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court itself has said in several cases which we have referred to, especially in Madhu Kishwar case, that law of tribals, even if it goes against Hindu law or against Article 14 and 15 of the Constitution, the Supreme Court has said we will not interfere because it is a part of personal law. Therefore, our government is definitely a secular state. And in a secular state, all the religions, not only Islam, all the religions have been permitted to practice religion in their own manner.
Yes.
And in Masra case, the Supreme Court has said
so what's interesting is
what is personal law is to be derived from the scriptures of that book.
They use the secular argument by saying that it is secular, which means, but what they're saying is that personal right and fundamental rights overrides everything else, and right to life and dignity comes above something they see, like triple talaq, they see is something that is harming a woman's dignity. And I saw, Ms. Salim, that you were disagreeing with what he was saying. Why is that?
One, as Islamic feminist, the Bharatiya Muslim Mahila Andolan, is very happy with the government stand, but two, wants to say that it's not religion that we feel is discriminating against women, it's the patriarchal interpretations that are discriminating against women, interpretations that we just heard of. If I can just, we're talking about this affidavit that was submitted by the All India Muslim Personal Law Board. If I can just read out 2 lines from that affidavit, and then, I mean, it says that if the husband wants to get rid of his wife, legal compulsions and time-consuming proceedings may deter him, and he may resort to murdering her or burning her alive. Therefore, triple talaq is a better recourse in such circumstances. If these are the kind of debates we are talking of in this day and age, as a Muslim woman who is working with over 1 lakh women who are affected by this issue, it's a cause of worry for me.
Would you like to respond to that, Mr. Jilani? You talk, you give the instance, and you justify it by saying that it's better than murder?
You see, it is not in every case, but the well-known case of Nanavati is there on this very point. The situation may be so, that is only has been pointed out. It is not that in every case it may happen or it should happen, but we have said so. Definitely, categorically we say that there are examples where divorce is better than continuance of marriage. And it is one of those examples which is a living case of this country.
Talk about Talaq-e-Ahsan.
You know that famous case of Nanavati where...
Talk about Talaq-e-Ahsan method of divorce then. There are 50,000 women who signed a signature campaign after the Shaira Banu case with the Bamma, and all of them were for reform. We are believing women who believe...
Out of 10 crore women, 50,000 may have no value.
Well, in a week's time, yes. I don't think I would not say that. 50,000 is a big number.
Okay, Ms. Siddiqui, I want to bring you in over here because you all came up, the All India Women Personal Law Board came out with its own Sharia Nikah Nama, which was an alternative thing as well. But you agree with the government when it says that this aspect of polygamy or of triple talaq is not a part of the Quran or not a part of Islam?
Exactly. First thing, our Indian constitution and Islamic religion give our fundamental rights, but lack of knowledge. हमें नॉलेज नहीं है उस बारे में, और मुझे यहाँ बहुत अफसोस के साथ कहना पड़ेगा, जैसे हम अभी बातें सुन रहे हैं, और कि हमारे कुरान में जो दिया गया है उसको हम अवेयर नहीं कराते हैं. कुरान, इस्लाम रिलीजन ऐसा रिलीजन है जिसमें कोई कलेजी नहीं है. उसमें ये नहीं कि आपको उल्मा की उनकी बात में आपको एक बुक दे दी गई है, दिस इज़ कुरान. कुरान इज़ ए ह्यूमन बीइंग बुक, नॉट ओनली फॉर मुस्लिम्स, है ना. इसको सबको पढ़ना है और इसको ट्रांसलेशन के साथ पढ़ना है. अगर जब हम ट्रांसलेशन के साथ नहीं पढ़ेंगे, वो ह्यूमन बीइंग पढ़ेगा तो अपनी लैंग्वेज में पढ़ेगा. दिस इज़ द बिग प्रॉब्लम हेयर इन इंडिया कि हम अपनी लैंग्वेज में वो बुक नहीं पढ़ते हैं. मैं आपको कहूँगी, मैं यहाँ जितने लोग बैठे हैं या हम हैं, मैं आपसे भी कहूँगी, कुरान ज़रूरी नहीं कि मैं ही पढ़ूँ जी. कुरान आपको ही पढ़ना है, मगर उसे अपनी लैंग्वेज में पढ़ेंगे तभी समझ में आएगा. कुरान में साफ दिया गया है कि ट्रिपल तलाक है ही नहीं, बैन है. हाँ, मगर क्योंकि हमारे पास उसकी नॉलेज नहीं है, हमें उसे अवेयर नहीं कराया जाता. जो हमारे उल्मा हैं जिनको ये कहा गया है कि उस बातों को अवेयर कराएं. देखिए, जैसे अभी बात हो रही, अराउंड 22 कंट्रीज बैन, मुस्लिम कंट्रीज ने बैन कर दिया. यहाँ तक
which is what the affidavit also points out,
है ना.
various countries, whether it's Pakistan,
पाकिस्तान जिसको हम इतना कहते हैं, इजिप्ट और टर्की, ये तो मॉडर्न कंट्रीज में आते हैं, मगर जो पाकिस्तान और ऐसे कंट्रीज हैं जिनको बहुत हम कहते हैं कि बहुत वहाँ औरतों को दबा के रखा जाता है, वहाँ पे बैन किया गया है. मैं आपको यहाँ कहूँगी कि अगर जैसे यहाँ पे उसको बैन करने के लिए इतनी मुसीबतें झेलनी पड़ी, आप अगर कुछ मुस्लिम कंट्रीज़ में जाइए, वहाँ पूछेंगे, वो कहेंगे ट्रिपल तलाक क्या होती है.